My dad asked me to pay for my stepsister's college and promised to repay me, but years later when I needed the money for my wedding, he refused because he didn't approve of my fiancé. But then my grandma gave me a special wedding gift, and oh boy, my dad lost his mind. Growing up, I was the referee in my parents' toxic marriage. They divorced when I was 10, and honestly, best thing that ever happened. I split my time between them and finally got some peace. When I was 15, Dad remarried Savannah. She was great. Her daughter Gemma was 7 and a bit of a brat, but Savannah never forced us to bond. The real problem was Dad. He tried taking my room for Gemma since I was only there half the time. Savannah shut that down, thank God. That's when I realized Dad didn't actually care about me anymore. 3 years later, right before I left for college, Dad and Savannah had Ashley. A week later, Dad pulled me aside. I'm in a rough spot financially. Can't help with college anymore. You're on my own. Turns out he'd spent my entire college fund on his new family. Mom had to pitch an extra, and I still took out $28,000 in loans. I went low contact with Dad after that. Why would I stick around for someone who abandoned me the second he had a replacement kid? 7 years passed. I graduated, got a good job in consulting, moved to Chicago. I stayed close with Savannah and Gemma though. They'd text me about their lives, send me photos. Gemma had grown into this smart, driven kid who wanted to be a nurse. Then Dad called. I knew something was up because we hadn't spoken in almost a year. Ashley had a medical emergency, he said. The bills were brutal. I had to use Gemma's college fund. My stomach dropped. Does Savannah know? Silence. Dad, does she know you stole her daughter's money? I didn't steal it, he snapped. I had no choice. Look, Gemma starts college in 3 months. I need $47,000 to cover 4 years of state school tuition. I'll pay you back every penny, I swear. I laughed. Actually laughed. You literally did this exact thing to me. And now you're doing it to Gemma. You're a pattern, Dad. She doesn't have a mother who can help her like you did, he said quietly. That got me. Not because of him, but because Gemma didn't deserve to suffer for his mistakes. Fine, but only if you tell Savannah the truth. I won't lie for you. He hung up. 3 days later, Savannah called me sobbing. Thank you so much. I had no idea he'd taken that money. I told her I'd send the payments directly to her account, not Dad's. Wanting $300 every month for 36 months. Gemma called me crying, saying I'd saved her future. She started sending me updates about her classes, her grades. We got close. Dad never paid me back, not $1. Every time I brought it up, he'd say, soon, or things are tight right now. Fast forward to 3 months ago. I proposed to Mahira. She's Afghan-American, a pediatric resident, the most incredible person I've ever met. We'd been together 2 years. At our engagement dinner, Dad showed up late and drunk. He stood up during toast and said, I want everyone to know I do not approve of this marriage. My son is making a huge mistake. Mahira's parents left. Her mom was in tears. I told Dad to get out and never contact me again. 2 weeks ago, I called him one last time. The wedding venue needed a $15,000 deposit by Friday. I need the money you owe me, I said. What money? The $47,000 for Gemma's college. You promised you'd pay me back. He laughed. Actually laughed. That money's long gone. Besides, I'm not funding your mistake of a marriage. You want to throw your life away on some. I hung up before he could finish. I was sitting in my apartment spiraling. Mahira deserved a beautiful wedding, and I'd already maxed out my budget helping my stepsister. I felt like the stupidest person alive for trusting him. That Sunday, Grandma invited me over for dinner. She's 82, been widowed for 5 years, still sharp as ever. Halfway through dessert, she handed me a thick envelope. Your grandfather and I started saving this the day you were born, she said. We always knew you'd find someone special. Inside was a check for $50,000. I started crying. Grandma, this is too much. Nonsense. You've been taking care of everyone else your whole life. Your grandfather would have wanted you to have this. Buy Mahira the wedding she deserves. I took a photo of the check, posted it in our family group chat, the one with Dad, Savannah, Gemma, Ashley, my aunts, uncles, cousins. Caption, thanks Grandma for the wedding fund. At least someone in this family keeps their promises. My phone exploded. Dad called 30 seconds later, screaming so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. You just made me look like a liar in front of everyone. You are a liar, Dad. Turns out he'd been telling everyone for months that he was paying for my entire wedding, taking credit, playing the generous father. Now the whole family knew the truth. Savannah texted, he's locked himself in the bedroom, won't come out. Gemma called, oh my God, he's been telling people at church that he's sacrificing everything for your wedding. Everyone's blowing up his phone. This is amazing. My aunt commented on the post. So he couldn't pay you back, but he could afford his boat? His boat. The $30,000 fishing boat he bought last summer. The wedding's in 6 weeks. Dad's not invited. Neither is Ashley, honestly. She's too young to understand, but she just caused drama. Grandma's walking me down the aisle. And Gemma, she's Mahira's bridesmaid.